So you.
What I think a black man is, huh? Most first and foremost, what a black man is, he takes care of his responsibilities. You know, he's confident, has a lot of integrity, shows up more respect, not only for other people but for himself. In order for him to stick out and stand up, like out in this world, in this society today, you know, there's certain characteristics, certain personalities that you have to rub shoulders against. You might not feel the greatest, might not be the most comfortable, but it seems certain things you just got to do, especially being a black man. Outside of that, I really don't have that much to say.
What is a black man? A black man to me is a man that carries himself with pride, dignity, integrity. He takes care of his family. He secures his family. He goes out and does whatever he needs to do to take care of his family. He works in the community, helps his community. There's other things, but we're not going to go that deep into it at this moment that we can go into about a black man. But he's one that can go in many circles and carry himself with pride, dignity, and integrity, and never compromises. That's what a black man to me is.
All right, cool. We got you.
What is a black man? To me, the black man, for one, is they're the father of all humanity, number one. Um, the black man is not just one man. You have black people from all different, places of the world. You have the black man who's from the hood. You have the black man who grew up in, a predominantly white neighborhood. You got the black man who went to college. You got the black man who chose not to go to college and just worked 9 to 5 until he worked his way up. So there's no specific definition of what a black man is because it ranges all over the place. But the ideal black man is a man who is for his family, number one. A man, who takes care of his children, who encourages other children. He encourages people in his neighborhood. He protects people. That's the job of the black man. That's always been the job of the black man, was to protect, reserve, and basically just be the rock of their household, the rock of his community. So that's my definition of a black man.
All right, so pretty much, this whole discussion is about what a black man is and what a black woman is, in our eyes. I would prefer to get more women's feedback on it, but I only got one this time. Folks don't be wanting to show up for real stuff. They want to show up for parties. So, pretty much this is what a black man is to us. As you seen earlier, a few of us had our different ideas of what a black man is.
So pretty much, the steeple of this discussion is the societal contributions of black men. So what society say a black man is versus what a black man is and what we consider to be a black man. So, like a woman say, I want this from a man, I want this from a man, I want this from a man. Is that what you want from a man, or is that what you want from a black man? So that's why we're having this discussion now, because I want other opinions on the steeple of what a black man is.
That's kind of what this all about is our own personal ideas of manliness. Now, what does that mean? Man up. Like when you hear that, what that mean? Say it with your chest. What that mean? Is that regular man junk or is that black man junk? Because on a daily basis we face with different things in our regular walks of life than every other man on this planet. As far as black being the ethnicity side that we would associate to in a given conversation. So, black man. What is a black man? If a woman can't find a black man to do ... What is you looking for? What am I not doing as a black man? What is she doing that's not like a black woman that I want? So that's what we're here to talk about. Like, I think black men talk tough and act like punks. That's what I see. But what I believe we are the strongest substance of anything ever to be called men. We just don't know it. We forgot. And that part is never... Nobody ever glorifies a strong man. Marcus Garvey was an extremely strong man. and they kicked him out the country. Why? Malcolm X was a strong man. Now, everything about these men were not the greatest of men, but the portions of what we talk about a man being, it was exuded by both individuals. And those are just the two off the top of my head. You know what I mean? I didn't think of this before. I'm just saying, like, the idea of man and black man. Like, I take blackness to a whole nother level. I can't call myself African American because I can't be Canadian American because I ain't from Canada. And I ain't from Africa. That's right, Canada. I'm not Canada. I'm not from Canada. But that's what it is, right? African American, right?
Yeah.
Legitimately textbook. Don't that mean an African that has American citizenship? A Puerto Rican American? They're from Puerto Rico. They got American citizenship. So how am I African American? I just want to know. And does my African American idea as structure fall into my blackness as a black man? Because African black men act completely different than us American black men. So what y'all think? What's your thoughts? E, Meech, Pat, Leach?
So do you feel like an African man is better than a black man? Because I can agree, they're two different people. We have no real ties to Africa. We just know that that's where humanity started. That's where people of color are from. But I don't identify with the African American because there's nothing African about me. I know nothing about African culture besides what I might see on a Facebook meme or what I might research. I've never been there. You know, so we don't really have a home country. So when people say go back to Africa or that, I'm like, I've never been there.
Right.
Like, I'm American. I'm more American than all of y'all.
Yeah, I can't say better.
So what is your outlook on it, like, as far as seeing the differences?
Well, I mean, the differences are the cultural differences. Like, I can't say an Ethiopian man better than a black man.
So
because it's a cultural thing. Like, I think of blackness as a culture, not a color.
right. So with that being said, so why is it, if that's the case, and I'm just saying, if that's the case, then why do we say that white people copy black culture? If we're saying that we're not really identifying with African culture, then why do we get upset with them for identifying with that culture if you don't feel like you're a part of being African?
Well, there's a socialization thing because anything a white person has ever done was stolen from the continent of so-called Africa. Because that plat of land is not called Africa before Africanus came and took it over. So they associate themselves with being African. Right. So they along the lines of the support of white supremacy, just like the non-support of the black man is for the non-association of the origination of the culturals that we're talking about.
Right.
So I can't say better because it's an association from the original. So from our conversation, it's from the structure of what we see day to day. I cannot speak of, just like you can't, or you, unless you've been to Africa.
No, never been.
What we observe from folks from Africa, what I observe from folks from the D, what you observe from folks from H-Town, from Cali,
here
at the
Arizona,
crib, you know what I'm
Ohio.
saying? And here. So it's what you observe. Like, when you see a dude, can you honestly be like, that's a black man right there? Can you be like, that's a man I want to be around my kids or raise my kids?
No, of course not. No, of course not. You can't gauge that from that.
Right.
I'm saying like culturally better. It wasn't like not individually.
Yeah,
I'm saying culturally.
the
Do you
culture,
think they're better because
the black
they
man
are
culture
in
is
Africa?
what we're talking about right now. Is
right.
It has no solidarity. It's this big bubble of stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, I knew back in the day what a black man's supposed to do, and it's the tail end of Vietnam jump, seeing those men. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm like, that ain't no man right there. But the folks who was able to stay in the community that didn't have to go on that trip, those were men. Like my grandfather, you know what I mean? Like, that was my structure for a man. So that's my idea of what a black man is. Like, not how much money you got, it's what you do with your money. Mm-hmm. Right. But we already understand what the camera, tangerines and banana. Like, that's a cool man. Like, is that a man though?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's the construct. And I don't want to give white people no more power.
Exactly.
Every movie we watch, they always got the power. They always saving us.
Yeah. Or we begging them to save us. That's why I
Or
started
we
watching
begging and
those type of
asking
movies.
them for something.
Or we saving them.
Or we saving them, or helping them.
Or they kill us off early in the movie.
Or we get killed off. And it's all based on the same thing.
The
Like,
white person being up here and
Yeah.
the black people being down there. That's why I
Exactly.
stopped watching those type of movies. Like I don't
So-
watch those slave movies no more. I don't care what movie come out. People, oh, it was a good film. Yeah, it was a good film. Seeing niggas get treated like slaves and treated like shit, saying yes, master, and bow down. We don't do that shit no more. Why don't they make a movie about reality?
we do.
like
We
you
still
can't-
do. Because we don't have what we talking about right now. There's no structure
Nope.
in the black community. So I can't say, I'm not going to tell the person who was deemed to do the begging, right? Every society got their people that beg, that
Yep.
hustle, that keep money, that brings the message.
Right.
Every culture got this.
Yep.
Except for us.
No, we do.
No, we do.
We do.
We
It's
got-
just a negative. It's just negative.
But it's a culture full of the same. Look at all them coons dancing around on the football field, dancing around on the NBA court, dancing on their TV show. Don't want to lose their comedy stream because they said something. What is you dancing for?
The
Right.
majority of them don't have a reality of self. They don't know themselves.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's why I respect Nick Cannon.
Right.
I respect him like a mug. Yeah.
And he's
I-
actually,
I
you were
saw.
watching him, and he's elevated. You know, if you watched him through his career, you can
He
see
was that
his,
person
his
at first.
consciousness
He started
elevate.
changing.
Yeah, you
when
can
he
see him
realized it.
gradually elevating. Now, where he's going to be later on, and where he's going to,
I think
Right
he's gonna
now,
be the voice of
there's no
black
chains on
community
him.
strength. I
No.
agree.
he's
No.
not accepting them chains to
No.
be taken put on him because
Yeah.
he just gave up millions of dollars and walked away from it. He basically walked away from it before they so-called said we fired you.
Right. They had been saying he left the show.
But you,
But
you
he
know how
already
they
left.
act. What? You don't want this job?
No,
No.
He said he's trying to create his own thing. That's why I got mad respect for him too. And I feel like when it comes to entertainment industry and all those things, he may just be that person where you can get rid of the BT. BT owned by white people. We don't care about that. Like we don't care about these award shows. I don't care about none of this shit. Like if it's not black owned for the most part, like I don't even get involved with it. I don't watch Love and Hip Hop. I don't watch these stupid ass reality shows. Like it just
No.
takes away. All it do is eat at our culture and make the world believe this is our culture. That's not.
Right.
But they rather promote
Right.
that.
And
And
this,
black people so dumb that they don't even care. They just see money and they don't even realize what it's doing to your spirit, your community, your kids, other people's kids. Like everybody's watching this. Your whole life is televised, and they taking this small snippet and saying this is black culture.
right.
right, and that's what like I know earlier we said something about like the African, and is that what represents us? Well, no, it don't represent us, but we got to also look at what is the picture that they being shown of us
Exactly.
Right.
when they come here before they even get here.
Right.
I had an experience many years ago for where my mother-in-law was speaking on a show, and she's married to a Nigerian man. And one of the things that caught my ear and caught my eye and opened me up some was she made a statement. She said he knows nothing about the slave trade or the plight of the black man in America.
Exactly. That
And
makes
I was
sense.
like, wait a minute, but he's from where they took us from.
Mm.
And I was like, how did they not know? But then that made me realize that how white supremacy works and how that is that they don't know because they've been so corrupted. The average, and I'm just going to keep it really real, you know, if white people get offended for what I'm about ready to say, so be it. I care less. I want to speak the truth. But I see more of my brothers come from Africa and come here and end up with a white woman.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with any black man or anybody being with any other race. But I'm wondering why is it that I see them coattail onto this white woman and not understand the plight of what that white man has done to them.
Because
know?
all Africans weren't slaves. Though.
Now I'm gonna throw this in there.
That's true.
The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said the last trick that the white man would do to try to get us and to bring us down with him would be he'd put his white woman out there.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing that. I'm like, I see some of the most so-called conscientiousness brothers, you know, they say one thing in front of the camera, but if you see them somewhere
Man,
else,
that's gonna get on my nerve.
they with somebody else.
God.
And like I said, I don't have a problem with who you with, but when you speaking black,
When you show us some bullshit.
and I'm catching you over here, yeah, and I see you over here with
poly. Come on, really?
Yeah, because it's giving the wrong message. So it's like, it's funny. I literally was just talking about this. I'm like, I don't like the fact that, you know, you got these Dr. Umars and all these other guys who. Some juice? So you have all these guys or whatever who come out here and they want to be the voice of the black community. They want to talk. They want to do all of this. But number one, you got to pay to see them.
Yep.
Number two, they always ask me for donations. But what are they putting back into the community? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't want people to think that, oh, black people just always want somebody to do something for them. It's not about that. It's about when you asking for my time and you asking for my money and I don't see any type of results besides you rolling around the world making money off of giving some speeches. That's not helping the community. Like, that's cool and all. But one thing I've learned about people in the conscious community specifically, they are the type who take away, they make you fight against racism just to be a part of being prejudiced. And I say that
today racism.
Exactly. So all it is, you just leave one racism to another, and I see that when I watch it. You know, I'm always trying to get into black things. Like, I've always been into black culture since day one. But what throws me off, they'll say that. So you know, you got somebody there. You got the LGBT community. You have, you know, the straight people. You got whatever they want to be people. Like, you got all these different groups of people, and all these conscious people that say, "Oh, the reason why we have all these problems is because of the white man." Pause. I don't agree with that. They'll say, "Oh, the reason why people are gay is because of white people." Pause. I still don't believe that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, these people were born gay. I still don't believe that. Like, right. It's just they throw things out there because they know it's easy to persuade a group of people who are confused about something anyways. And instead of them looking into it and trying to understand it, they just be like, you know what, he got to be right because he got a lot of followers. He got this. We're going to donate him some money. It's just like church. You're doing the same thing you preaching against. And I never understood that. Like, a black man, whether he's gay or straight, he's still a black man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, unless he go through the transition, he's still a black man. Same as for women. And they be preaching like, oh, well, we need to get the homosexuality out of the black community, blah, blah, blah. Like, all you're doing is reversing racism and just creating a bigger division of black people in the community where it's never going to be unity.
Right. You're picking and choosing who you want to go against because you got other people to back you on.
Exactly.
But the overall idea, though, is we don't know we.
Right.
We know our groups of we.
Right.
So it's no reason why. Let me give y'all an example. Who made Kevin Hart funny?
White people. He wasn't funny. Kevin Hart, he had a lot of movies before he got mainstream.
Who came out and gave him money? We did, right?
Right.
We have to say
we supported him.
Yeah,
right.
We supported him.
How Richard Pryor funny? Red Fox.
Black people.
Ain't a nigga in this room can't tell me they had a funny couple niggas in high school, middle school, or elementary school that was a plumb fool. You know how many millions of funny people that is? Who chose for that person to come out and be the face of funny? White people. Of course. And we let them. This is why we don't have nothing, because we let them. If I know you make shirts, I'm going to go to you first to get my shirts. Right. If I know you make beats, I'm going to go to you to get my beats. If you making books, I'm going to go to you for my literature. Mm-hmm. If you know all of the homies that can help me out with my little league team, I'm going to go to you first. We don't do that because why you charge so much? Mm-hmm. Well, I ain't got no help. I don't have a land to get support from. Right. An immigrant has a land to get money from. Stacks. You come over here and you get a couple racks to live in my junk and you got a degree? I can't go to your junk and get no money and I ain't got no education. Yeah. But that's okay. Let's go march. The band is wrong. The band is wrong. No, what's wrong is you can't go uplift your homie that you see. That same bum. All of us know the bum, right? The cool bum. The bum you kick it with. Can dance, can sing. He should be on AGT.
Yeah.
Why he ain't on there? Because he is a talented individual. Yeah, he might have a problem. You think all these folk up in the head with all this money ain't got no problem? No problem. No problem. They got problems. But that's not what's illuminated, right? Mm-hmm. Our problem is illuminated. Chirac. What was that for? The murder myth. You know what I'm saying? Everything big and you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's your own junk. That's what we got in our own small communities. but then you say, I'm a black man living in a white man world. No,
No,
bruh.
I don't believe. That's why I say I hate
The
that shit.
numbers is 400 million. It's 400 billion. 400 million white people.
The rest is black people.
It's
People
like
of color.
19 point something billion of melanated people.
Mm-hmm.
How they control that? How they do that? There's some
Divide and
history
conquer.
on that, depending on what y'all believe. We've talked about it. I
Yeah.
don't want to throw that out. That's a little too deep for some. Yeah, cool. But that is our problem. Why I can't help the little homie. Because he young and stupid. Guess what? I was young and stupid too. You was young and stupid too.
Over.
And what we do? You 18, get out the house. The Mexicans don't do that.
No.
They get a bigger house.
That's true, but that's a little different.
It's not though.
It is,
It's-
because then those kids will end up being 40, 30 years old and they working part-time, still living at home.
But that's
It still has
fine.
to be some type
That
of...
is okay, because that 40-year-old man will culturally know his history
Yeah.
and know how to treat his grandmama, his mama, his sisters, and his girlfriend.
True.
The teach part, Americanization, this Europeanization junk is what make you not want to be with your family. Everywhere else
I
in
can
the
agree
world,
with that, yeah.
people are around their family. Now, it could be a hut next door, a house down the street, but you're around your family.
Yeah.
We the only ones, like, I'm leaving. Moms, I'm busting up. Nigga, you going to Massachusetts? You going from Kentucky to Massachusetts. Why?
Well, why? And then we can put a why on that right now with that one. It goes right back to the Willie Lynch syndrome, the Willie Lynch letter. And what was taught to breaking of the slave and how the slave was treated and taken from, the man was taken from plantation to plantation, breeding or whatever. The family was always broke apart. In that Willie Lynch, it said, I'm going to show you a way to make a slave that will last for over 300, 400 years.
Think
But
I'm there.
with
And
that,
we act that out. Now, there's another side of that, of where some of that thinking comes from. I'm not gonna go into it, but those that know, that have learned anything about the teachings of Yakub, it's the same thing. It's the conquering and how to divide and conquer and be over a people and control. You know, I think the main thing, I know this, the main thing that we all have a problem with, you know, it's not that we always say, oh, it's the white man, the white man. What is your mindset? It's the mindset. That mindset can be in anybody.
Seed. They planted
That
the seed.
seed.
that's true. But while we on that,
Yes.
where do you think they got these ideas from? And you already know where I'm coming from with this one.
Us.
No, this
Us.
is written in the Bible.
Us.
It's in that damn book
The
that
original
everybody
us.
sit there and praise, not to downplay anybody's religion. It's sitting in the book, and it's a story where he talks about the people of Egypt and how he was going to turn them, like it looked like Jim Crow laws and Willie Lynch syndrome. Like if you read it, it's almost textbook. You can sit it right next to the damn thing, and it's like, we're going to turn son against father, mother against daughter. This is literally written directly in the Bible, and it's like, well, where do you think these white people got it from?
Us.
Like, whose Bible is it? It's a man-written Bible, you know,
Us.
darn it. But it's just like,
Us.
that's where that mindset come from. But like I told someone the other day, he tried to argue with me about it. I'm like, you can't sit here and say this is the white man's fault, this is this is that. I'm probably, because black people can educate themselves on a lot of things.
Yes, they
Number
can.
two, it's called choice. I'm like, I've went through things. Before I turned 18, I had 2 felonies. For dumb shit, of course. You know, I ain't got to get into it. I had 2 felonies. So I had an option. I had a choice at that point. I could have stayed doing dumb shit, or I could have got my shit together by the time I was 21 and be a part of the HIDE program, and they wiped this shit off. You know, so it comes a point where you can't say this is the white man's fault. When I was out here in the streets, out here just thugging, doing what I wanted to do, that wasn't the white man's fault. I did that by choice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
and people won't take accountability. And he tried to argue with me and say every problem with a black man is a white man's. And I'm like, no.
No, it's not.
It's not, but like you said, it's by choice, but also it's by design too.
Yeah.
Depending on where you at, it's by design.
Yeah.
It goes by your morals and your values.
It is by
Yeah.
design. But design, you can only keep doing dumb junk your parents tell you to do until you have age. So that's why I agree with that argument. But the sustainment of the why is our problem. It's so easy
Yeah.
for us not to do the right thing.
Mm.
Because, piggybacking off you, who created this Bible? We originally had the idea. It was stolen, misconstrued, then contextualized into what we call the King James Bible, 1611. Okay? I like the Apocrypha. I cannot wait to get one. But here's the problem. Who is King James? Everyone gets the wrong King James.
Yeah.
All right? It's Charles Stewart James VI. Cornell University has a full book on it. He's a black Scottish dude who allowed the scholars to write the Bible. Now, I'm a Christian, but I do not negate the Quran, the Torah, Talmud. I don't really mess around with the Talmud. But it's literature. It's a story that someone told from a story told. The problem is we can't read between the lines. If I give you some sheet music, a pianist has to know how to read between the lines to get that. Like music ain't just here. Dun, 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 dun. He saw dun, 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 dun. And he personified that idea into it being that song. That's our problem is, yes, it's so easy to keep. It's designed to keep us down. But we feed into it. That's why I have the black man idea. We feed into the negative side of a black man and not the positive side.
Because it's so easy to go to the negative side.
Exactly. It's
that's
harder
that
to
mindset.
it's harder to be a punk though.
Exactly.
And not say nothing. Demand
like
up.
how you said when you 18, 21, you know, a lot of us got our trials and tribulations.
Yeah.
But it's what you learn from your mistakes.
And most don't learn shit because they just keep doing the same thing. Keep doing the same
Exact
thing.
same shit.
It's like repeat
Exact same
failings.
shit.
Like why? Like why do you
What-
want to be in prison? Like
What
why?
do you say
What
to a
makes you?
successful dummy who's 40, who did the same thing when he was 18, made it successfully for the last 30 years, and then do some dumb junk when he's 42 and still got the mindset? What do you say about that situation?
Like he dumb. Like flat out.
But
People are drawn to one thing. It's not even just a black thing. People in general are just drawn to negative things.
This is
if
true.
the choice kicks in
This
when
is
you
true.
decide to do something
but
positive,
the
that's the fucked
observation.
up part.
The reason why I brought that up is because you're observing. So, Meech, you're the youngest one in the crib, right? See a dude you know used to be banging in the hood. Just ain't get caught. Seen him be mad successful. Then he get caught up when he like 50. Don't matter. He had a good 30 years of greatness. You observing that. And all of us observing that, and we are your peer group that talks to you. And we say, get a job, get an education, don't be in the streets. Seeing that situation, who is it easier to believe?
It's easy to believe the person that didn't get caught for those like 30 years.
It's easier to go ahead and do his thing.
I see it right now because I got my sister doing the good thing. Now she's going on a good path, and I got a brother that's going on this path, and the money look good when it's just coming like that.
Right.
But then when you see the consequences that come with it, you're like, nah.
But what's glorified? I can play a song randomly right now, and it's gonna
Like,
talk about.
in the young communities, we glorify. Well, when we in like the rough neighborhoods, they glorify who shot who, like gang and all that type of stuff. Like, that's glorified.
You think it's cool to kill somebody?
You know.
Please.
No, it ain't cool.
Because who gives a
But
man
that's what
or
they think.
an individual to take another individual's life?
Exactly.
Who gives that right?
You know what's honorable to me though? Fight.
Exactly.
Fighting. Seeing how tough you are.
Get your ass beat, you get your ass beat.
Because you can run out of bullets.
Exactly.
You can run out of energy fighting.
Right.
But you
You
still
still
got
breathe.
your knuckles and you get a breather, you can go back at it. But I'm not taking another individual
Life just
from
because.
another family.
Mhm.
And that's our problem, which I talked
We don't
about in our
care.
last video, is love, which you talk about all the time.
Yeah.
We have no love for ourselves. Like,
And if it is, it's tough love.
and it's super tough love though.
I mean,
Like,
really tough.
like anything you do that's good. You could have a dog beat. And you just like, man, that's all right. Like,
There's always somebody, a black person that has something negative to say. About
exactly.
All the time.
Right. Crabbing. Always pulling.
Mhm.
Always nah. You know what I'm saying? Why? Why are we like that? Now, Pat is definitely more conscious than myself. So that's like my thing is we hate so much.
not necessarily much of hate. It's the jealousy and envy. Equals hate.
But you're equally hating on a person or individual that's slightly above you from your vantage point.
Well, it's a thin line.
Right.
It's a thin line to be a hater.
It is.
Very
But-
thin line.
But
Just
why
like
you hating?
love and hate?
If you know my man get on and you know he gonna put back in the community, why you mad he got on and you didn't?
Because you didn't get there first.
That's fine.
That's
Man,
where
that's-
that's
But
where,
you can't-
where the jealousy and envy come
But
from.
why you
Just like
can't?
how he said, how what's being glorified in the hood is
I need to
niggas taking lives, kicking down doors. Yeah, the money looks good, but the things that people don't realize, you got to consistently think, look over your shoulders. You're paranoid.
Exactly.
You have to look at this person one, two,
Exactly.
three, different, 4, 5 times, a different way, and things of that nature. So, at the end of the day, that person that was doing that shit for 30 years and finally decided to get caught up, you know what? He got tired of running and facing his past. He wanted to go towards the future. So in order to move towards the future, you have to face your past, one way or another.
True. But am I in the time spent in your reveling on your past, you ruining your present? And the thing is you know it. Like, you know what you doing. That's my problem. Like, you know you be, like, in a bad spot.
Yeah.
And you know your man's is really just trying to come up. And instead of asking them because you too prideful, you banging them.
Yeah, because it all falls back to the kiss man. Keep it simple. What could I do to get up out the situation? How I'm going to come up. How I'm going to get my next meal. How I'm going to feed my family. How I'm going to make this next dollar.
But on the come up, here's where we run into problems as a culture. We come up. We got mans in them that's hungry that could do it, but we going to go help out who helped us out first.
Mm-hmm.
That is our problem. Help out the hungry, not the people that was hungry and ate off you. 'Cause that's what they do. That's all the album, man. Somebody eating off another dude's talent. They chilling. They push a button that say send for an email and eat off all your tours, all your long nights of writing, sitting with the ghost writers, sitting up in the booth, trying to find the right cadence for the song. Meanwhile, they just like, oh, you got it, you got that album done?
You ready?
Oh, thanks. Millions. We'll give you some little pennies.
But at the same time, too, though, like, that's another thing. We're glorifying. Sometimes it starts at home, you know, like you were saying. Like, it's about mindset and the shit they're around. Like, people need to inform their children that, like, okay, the reason why people are even in the streets and wanting to sell drugs and do all this shit, because they don't believe they can get a job. They don't believe that they can just be legit and make money and work their way up. They don't believe that that's possible because of what's being poured into them, because of what they're surrounded by. Mm-hmm. So, of course, they're going to think that the dope boy is way more cool than the man that worked all his life, and he didn't get a nice Corvette or something until he was about 40, 45, but still he lived an honest life. He raised his kids right. His kids went off to college, or they went and worked. Either way, they did something other than sat in the streets. So the mindset at the same time comes from home. Like, his mother raised 4 boys.
Right.
Including me, like, whenever I came over there, because we don't have the same mother, we have the same father. So it's like, she had 4 boys, and she never, ever instilled anything about you having to be like this because y'all father not here. You have to be like this because y'all daddy not here. You need to go hustle and do this because your dad. Never, not once has she said it. It's been days that fucking you can barely eat. Mm-hmm. But she like, I'm not about to let y'all be out here in these streets. Now, what you choose to do is what you do, but I'm not gonna raise you like that. You know what I'm saying? That's how she has been. That's a strong black woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, all day I tell me, I salute him like, your mom was real, because she didn't say that. And like, yeah, our brother Ink, he got into this little drug world and stuff. He wanted to be cool. He doing all that, but guess what? He about to sit it down for a couple years. You know what I'm saying? You got 2 small children that we all gonna have to make sure is good now. You know, one of our other brothers, he already injured just from hanging and being around the wrong fucking people, doing dumb shit for a female. You know what I'm saying? He did more than that. Carrie been in there since 2009. He was supposed to have been out. He got 60 months. He's still in there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they made these choices. They didn't have to do that because they didn't grow up like that. And the crazy part is they all graduated high school. It ain't like they was college, high school dropouts and shit. Like, it's just about what they were influenced by. And she pressed on them like, don't be this type of way.
But look, she pressed on them. See? The problem with black men is it ain't no black men pushing black men.
No,
it's black
shit.
women.
Yep.
The Black Panther, 70% women.
Yep.
The strongest black movement ever
Was created by women.
Women. and you ask, what is a black man? It's whatever a black woman say a black man is.
That
Until a
is
black
true.
man step up and say this is what a black man is. That's one of the things I legitimately hold true about their idea of men is the Hebrew Israelites. A lot of them, their idea of man is a very good steeple of what I believe men are. Now, how they do their women, no, that's another thing.
Right.
But the idea of even when ministers speak about what a man is, a man, not necessarily a devout follower and believer in Allah, so to speak, but just a man. Like, we don't have a lot of that. Like, I wanted to believe Steve was, but we from the crib, you from the hood, you know how they get down on Cali.
Yeah.
You feel when a dude not genuine.
Yeah.
And I always felt like that about him. You ain't genuine, dog. You out here dancing. So all I got is my grandfather to consider what a real man is. One job, non-working wife, raising 5 kids in the 50s.
Yeah, you got a good point. I mean, when you say the man,
Yeah.
the black man being taken out of the household. You know, I'm born in the '60s, and when I think of a black man, I think of my father working 2 jobs, hardly ever having time to really spend with me, but he was there and showed that love. It wasn't a love for where, and we talked about this, where, oh son, I love you. No, the love that he showed was the respect that he showed for my mother, for what he did for the household, that he was working sometimes 17 to 18, 19 hours a day, come home, rest for 3 or 4 hours, and go back out, you know, and keep that going for 35, almost 40 years, you know. So when I think of a black man, that's the image that I have. Now, when I look at it growing up, a lot of my close friends, they had that too. They had the man, they had their fathers in the house. But then it flipped for where the generations, couple generations behind me, there was no man in the household. It was all on the woman. But we still had, like, say, my father and other men that raised us, that were still around, that still was working in the community to show them what a black man looked like and what a black man would do, can do, and should be doing for the family. Because like I always say, it starts with self first. Once it starts with self, it's in your household. Once it starts from there, it filters out into the community. And once there's many things that like you said earlier, a system set up to culture us a certain way. Back when they put in women's rights and there was a push for that. I look at things this way. If the so-called powers that be are pushing something and saying, yeah, this is what needs to be done, there's a reason why you're doing it. Yeah. And it's usually has something breaks down, or usually it's something to keep a certain people from a knowledge or from a power. When they put, and I have no problem with women's rights. That's not the issue. But once you took the woman and she can go get a job, do whatever. Okay, better example. Let me put it this way. My mother was a training nurse when she met my father. They got married. She wanted to continue her career as a nurse. And he said no. She said, no, I'm going to still be a nurse. He said no. And she was like furious at him. But then he explained it to her. And he said, no, we're going to have a family. I want you to be the one to be at home to raise the family. So that's why he worked like he did. Now, this is a man that wasn't raised by his father, but he had 4 uncles that he was raised by. So he still had that man figure. there's like you said, there's no male figure, black male figure in the household anymore. So we got to go to why? Where is it? What's the what behind it?
There's so many reasons, though.
So many reasons, and we can go
A lot
on
of
and
them
on
is
and on.
because
for
black
weeks.
men feel like once a relationship is
Yeah.
over, that includes their children. And, you know, and that's really what it happens. I've seen it happen over and over again. You see it time and time again. Like, they'll be with someone, they slip up, she get pregnant, they have a kid. As soon as they decide to break up, he feel like, fuck you and my child. And he go get another woman, he'll take care of her children, but he won't do nothing for his child because that relationship has soured. And that's the mentality. It's sad, but that's the mentality of a lot of millennials now. Like, they feel like once the relationship is over, that basically like that kid ain't mine. Like, no, that's still your child. But you'll go stay with another woman because she'll house you, and you take care of her children, and basically neglect yours for all their life. And then when they become successful or start doing things in life, you want to try to come back around, and they be like, oh, well, they try to downplay what the mother did, but I'm like, where were you?
But
You know what I'm saying? Like,
the laws are set up in order to maintain the absence of black men in the household.
I can't agree to that.
I can't
Because
agree
it's called
with that
choice.
either.
It's called
Because-
choice.
No,
You
no,
choose
no.
to be
What
in
I'm
your child's
saying,
life
what
or
I'm
not.
saying is lawfully, the way that a woman, a black woman, can get back at that man
Okay.
is to put him on child support, right?
Right.
So
But why not?
no, it's not a why not. I'm saying this is my defense to why the laws support the black man staying out the house. A black woman can't get welfare if a man there.
No, that's not. No, they changed that. That changed like 20 years ago. You can still get money if
but-
a man's in the house. Before you couldn't though.
Okay,
They would have
but
to put him
now,
out.
now we're talking about another law that's sustaining another issue of white supremacy that we're not focusing on right now. I'm talking about the laws support a black man not being in the house because let's raise taxes. Oh, I gotta work some more hours, less time in the house. Now you got the mama out, and she generally get home before the daddy. Still less time, lawfully, government-wide, that keeps the man out the house. Who you sending? Who you gonna send to go fight and defend the country? See what I'm saying?
I mean, but this is not just black men though. Like that's the only reason why I can't agree to that
But
because
the
it's not.
numbers-
It's white people on
That's fine,
public
but the
assistance
numbers,
and,
but the
you know.
white man got somebody there that's gonna support that family and teach them kids the man side of whiteness. You got a granddad, had a great life.
But
Bye,
still,
Daddy.
that's not. That doesn't fall on the place of the government, in my opinion, or the white people, because it's called, like I said, it gets to a point where it's called accountability and choices. Like if you say, so for example, we can go through a generation. You got a great grandfather, then you got your grandfather, then you got your father, and then there's the son. So if at the top of the house, your great grandfather, he had his father, his grandfather, he had him. That was his father. The son, well, the father technically, he had his father, and then this father has a child, and he don't maintain in the household. That's not the fault of the government. That's not the fault of anybody else but that man. Like you don't have to be, and that's the thing. Like men feel like they have to be in the same household or they have to be catered to a certain type of way just to be there for their children. No one should force you to be there, to want to be there for your child, regardless of what's happening. Like whether it's child support or whatever. Like if you're not there and not doing shit for your child, damn right. Why shouldn't she put you on child support? You're not there physically.
I understand.
Like you
that.
know what I'm saying? Like it's like it come to a point where it's like either you gonna put out or you not. You know.
But you said
Back
you
then when
made
y'all
the-
was born was different.
No, but
you
the
know, it's
point
not
that
like
you
now.
made is my exact point. Is he feel that he got to be there all of the time. Who he get that feeling from? Because in his mind, that's what he think my dad did. So if I don't have it, it's way easier for me to say, skip. Nope, I ain't with her. I ain't got to be with my seed. Because that's second.
That's so sad though.
But that was the point I'm making, is because the laws in society is set up for millennials for them to be able to do that. Because they don't have the man there saying, I don't care what you do, boy, go take care of your son. Go take care of your kids. I don't care if y'all broke up.
Yeah, these last two
Go
generations.
take care of your
is
kids.
rough.
They don't have that because of what you just said. They feel like I'm supposed to be there the whole time. That's what a dad is. And if I'm not with the mom, I don't have to be there.
And it's so crazy. Like, and it's only the last couple generations. Granted, you know, people grew up without fathers back when you guys was born or whatever.
Yeah.
But that father at some point made his way to come around and be there. Like the now dads, like the last 10-year dads, they don't give a damn about these kids. But one taking, they'll go on social media and shit. They'll see something, and like maybe they son or whatever, a daughter he may feel like, oh, they shouldn't dress like this, do like this. Then he'll go and he'll blast his whole baby mama out, have all his homies on there. Like if y'all his homies, tell him to be a man to his son. You know, like I don't even befriend niggas who don't be there for their kids. Like I don't care if I know you all my life. If you out here talking about some fuck her, blah 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 blah, and I know you not spending time with your kid because you always with the homies, you ain't my homie no more. And that's the thing. Like that has to be a fucking code. Like and that's where black people need to kick in. That should be the code. If you not there taking care of your kids, ain't nobody saying you don't have to be rich. And that's another thing. I put that now that's one thing I can put on the black women. They feel like the man is supposed to be peeling out his pockets and doing all of this, and if he don't, I put him on child support. That's not all black women, but a lot of black women do that. So it's like it needs to be some type of respect, and that's the problem. It hasn't been respect in the black community in a long time. Like it's no respect line. It's just like, look, if he ain't got shit, but he want to be there for his child, cool. Let him be there. Like if he can't do shit but spend time with him, time is what matter. No matter how much money he spend when he get older, that money already spent. You know what I'm saying? Like so that's what I said. I agree. Like it's on both sides of the fence, but at the end of the day, as a black man, like my homie Ralph, I grew up with him. We went to middle school, all of that. Me, him, Tommy, the whole squad. And he was going through issues with this baby mama. This chick was crazy. She didn't want him to be around and see his daughter. He's in the military, but she'd gladly take his checks. So he kept going to court, going in front of the court, going in front of the court. That's what a man's supposed to do. If you want to see your child, you say you want to be there arguing with your homies or yelling at them, telling them about, oh, she tripping, she won't even see my son, she'll come around. No. Nigga, like my nigga went to court. Now they got joint physical custody. Like no, it took him a year because she tried to make it seem like he was just an unstable person because he's in the military. So he had to go through all these. He went through some shit, but at the end of the day, that shows that he wanted to be in his daughter's life. He wants to be a father.
That was an integrity about himself.
Thank you. You feel me? Like, and he didn't really have his dad growing up like that either.
And the law made it harder.
They did because she reported. You know that is fucking
here's
crazy.
The
like,
law part.
That's where the law kicked. That's why I was agreeing. That's where I was coming to with it. Like that's where the law kicked in.
These laws is not set up to sustain our blackness, our black society.
I don't think it's any man though, because not even just my black friends go through that. It's just when it comes to the woman, if she's the one that had that baby and she's kept that baby, and you want to come in and
there's been a shift.
It's hell.
There's been a shift in sexes, and what I mean by sexes is male, female.
Yeah.
Like that's another discussion, but the community as a whole, black man, what's y'all final thoughts?
Black man, we're strong. We influence sometimes in a positive way, but majority of the times in a negative way. Depends on the perception that's perceived at the time being on what that black man is doing. And it can be an average black man. Don't necessarily have to be on top of his game. He can be at the bottom of the game. But as long as his integrity shows within himself, I can respect that man. And that's what makes a black man.
Mitch.
My generation, we don't know, have idea as to what a black man is.
That's all it's answer.
It's a bad answer, but it's a good one.
There is no bad answer.
No, the bad meaning that's a bad.
I don't mean that in a negative.
Yeah, like that's a bad.
It's a bad
perception.
Man, that's jacked up.
Yeah, like that's bad.
That
like
you
that.
have to be
Yeah,
feel
not
like
that's
that.
bad. But
Man, it's a cold reality.
Yeah.
A black man, I'm gonna just say what his intention should be, because right now the black man, he's weak. Like, you know, like that's just my perception. You know, people agree to disagree. The black man right now is weak because he's so confused in the brain. He wants to keep up with the now instead of being who he naturally is, because there's so many things out there influencing him in different ways that he don't know. Like, you know what? If I go to this direction, I'm gonna be in some bullshit. If I go to this direction, I'm gonna be in a little bullshit, but I'll be good. But if I stay on the straight and narrow, I'm smooth, and I can bring more people up with me in a positive way. And you know, that's just what it is. Like, a black man is supposed to be. He is the man that, you know, saying the start of humanity. Period. You know, saying the black man and black woman, flat out. But some, you know, along the way, of course, we had slavery. We had so many things that went around the way, and it reversed a lot of those things. It changed those things. But at the same time, the black man has to escape that slave mentality. He can't keep looking to white people to do it. He can't keep looking to his best friends to do it. Like, individually, you have to escape that. Sometimes it's not always a movement. It doesn't always take a village. Sometimes it just takes you to get from outside of yourself, you know. So to me, the black man is supposed to be a strong man, but right now he's weak. But I'm looking forward to the future. Like, we're getting a lot of leaders that's stepping up. I'm just hoping that they spreading the right message. Like I mentioned earlier, you can't tell me to, you know, go against racism, and then you invite me to be prejudiced. You know,
Yeah,
like that misconception has to be gone. So.
Pat?
I'm gonna say, end it with this. The mindset has to change. We have to realize there's many matrix, I'm gonna say.
Very obstacle box.
A lot of matrix.
A lot of matrix, bro. A lot of matrix.
And with that being said also, with there being many matrix that we get caught up in, and there's many faces, masks that we put on. But the mindset has to change. The integrity. I'll just sum it up with this. And this is what I live by. And I live by 3. Freedom, justice, and equality. And I don't give a damn what the person's color is. It doesn't matter, because I'm not at war with that. I'm at war with the mindset. First is the mindset not being in me. I constantly war with that. That I don't go back to anything negative that I used to do or used to be. Drawing those experiences that were negative, so I don't go back to that. But that freedom, justice, and equality, if I don't see that in a man or a woman, I'm not going to deal with you. I'm not going to sit there and bash you. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I try and lead by example of how I carry myself. And when you find out later who my teacher is, who I do follow, who I listen to closely, I let that be the representative when you see what I do. Because you're going to look and you're going to say, damn, I didn't know he was with that. I didn't know that's who he followed. Because I didn't know, I thought he pushed such and such. So I just leave it at that. Change the mindset. You know. And what you put out there, there's universal laws that go with living in this world and in this, what can I say, this paradox that we live in that you can't break. Be grateful for what you have. Be grateful for everything that you have. And watch how that alone will just bring positive things to you. So I'm going to leave it at that. Freedom, justice, and equality.
My final thought on Black Man. Overall, I would have to say that throughout the plight of our so-called history, we have survived, maintained, and made the best of every situation that we have been in. But until we realize who we are as a person, a people, and a culture, we're going to remain weak. And I agree wholeheartedly. We super weak. Our mind is strong, but it's strong in the wrong avenues of thought. And until our black women and our black men agree on what it is we're supposed to be doing, it's going to remain the same. And the little young guys going to be out here crazy making your own path. Because I'm going to tell you this, 100. Don't stop being mad. Stay on that. Because we on some punk junk right now. We on some punk junk. Y'all stay mad. Stay in it. And don't hate nobody because of what they look like. Hate somebody because what they talking about, what they support. And you'll find that we really be on that, but we need some leader junk. Like we're always trying to find a leader. Y'all don't need no leader. Y'all together already. Stay there. Stay together. I don't care if black, Puerto Rican, white, Asian. Y'all on the same accord because y'all don't care nothing about no Taliban, no ISIS. You like, y'all trying to go get something to eat? We on. I ain't really trying to hang with no white people. But know who you are. And that's our problem. You learn. I just learned who I am historically. You got time to learn that junk. We would have had to be in the library for hours. But now you got the Googles. So overall, family, we got a lot of work to do. We kind of banged on the black man today. So the next episode, We're gonna get out our black women. Peace, love, family. One.
It's a cut.
At night, I think of you. I want to be your nigga, baby. Touching you, baby. Holding you, baby. Kissing you, baby. So call me when you need me. When you tryna see me. Please don't ever leave me, yeah. So call me when you need me. When you tryna see me. Please don't ever leave me, yeah.